I'm going to can some cream corn. So I got a bunch of corn from the store. It was on sale, that's good. But according to burn it in here, I need 4 of these cobs for every pint. I'm going to make 5 pints, so that's 20 cobs. So now I got to get busy and husk these. Now I'm going to have to wash these and get that silk off as well. Okay, let's get the silk washed off. I'm using the strainer. I don't want that stuff getting in my grain. So the easiest way to get this off is just rub it back and forth like that. And there you go, it's clean. I'm going to finish these. And the last one here is cleaned. And then I got to blanch them for 4 minutes. From what I can see, I'm going to have to get my 5-gallon pot to do that because there just isn't enough room in a 3-gallon. So that's what would have gone down my sink if I wanted to use a strainer. Okay, we'll get these into boiling water. By the way, I ended up, while I'm waiting for the water to boil, I washed these cobs off 2 more times to try to get all that silk off. There's probably still a little bit left. But anyway, so I'm going to be blanching this for 4 minutes, and then I'll drain it and let it cool a little bit. I guess I'm going to have to bring it back to a boil before I start blanching, start the timer. Okay, it's boiling. And since they float, I'm going to put the lid on too, just to make sure they blanch properly. Alright, time's up, I guess. They also say it helps tender crisp, but I have no idea what that means. But we'll drain these. And let them cool a little bit. It's cooled off enough now that I can handle them. So, they say it's cut halfway through the cob. The kernels, I mean, with a serrated knife. Easier to do than I thought it would be. And yeah, only halfway. You don't want to go all the way through yet. So this is actually, I think, going to be the most tedious part of this whole process is doing all this. But and then I'm using a vegetable peeler instead of butter knife to get the rest of the kernel and the milk off. That works way better than the butter knife. Next step is measure this out. It's for every 2 cups of this, you need 1 cup of boiling water. So see how much we got here. That's 13, so I need 6.5 cups of boiling water. Okay, that's boiling now. So, need 6.5 cups. And we'll get all this boiling. And then once it's boiling, I'll turn the heat down. And they say slow boil, which is a simmer, for 3 minutes. Alright, so they've been this is simmered for 3 minutes. So now, with all these jars, 1 inch of headspace. So I'm removing the air bubbles. I'm going to measure them again. Make sure I get my 1 inch headspace. So these are 1/4 inch each. Okay, they're all at 1 inch. Then I have quite a bit of corn left, so I'm going to freeze it. Not freeze it, I'm going to put it in the fridge and cook it up tonight. So this canner wants 8 cups of hot water. Your canner may be different. You might have to just read your instructions. So what I gotta do now is take a paper towel dampened with vinegar and make sure that these rims are clean, completely clean. Do a quick wipe on these, just make sure. Put the lid on, the rim on, lid on here, and then tighten the band to finger tight only. Okay, they're all in the canner. Okay, I added some vinegar to the canner as well to keep the jars from getting cloudy. So go by your canner instructions, but in all cases, you want to get it to a full head of steam, and then let it vent for 10 minutes, and then close it off so it can build up the pressure. Once it's up to pressure, you want, with these, you want to can them for pressure can them for 85 minutes. And you can't use quartz, by the way. It started its exhaust. That's what the E10 means. E for exhaust. It'll beep at me when it gets down to 0, and I can close off the vent so it can get up to pressure. Okay, it's done its exhausting. And now it's time for me to close off the vent. Yeah, get back up to pressure. And then in a pressure can for 85 minutes. After that, it'll turn itself off. So it turned itself off all by itself, as I said. And I just got to wait for it to depressurize before I can open the lid. Okay, depressurized. Now I can carefully open the lid. And now I'm just going to let it sit for another 10 minutes before I pull the jars out. Okay, so I did turn this thing carefully so I can get these out and show you how I'm doing it. But here's the deal. I'm going to pull these as you've been sitting there for 10 minutes. So now I can use a real one. Some of these are sealed already. Most of them are sealed already. Nice little pinks happening while I was waiting. There goes another one. Good. Get these out of here. By the way, yeah, you want to wait until these things depressurize by themselves, because that's part of the cooking process. The other thing is, you want to give it another 10 minutes after you open the lid, so that you can, so that it will settle down and not boil over on you. Oh yeah, forgot to mention, I did change my clothes. I had to, because what happened is I spilled some oil on myself. Luckily, it wasn't hot oil, it was just oil. Otherwise, obviously, I wouldn't be here right now talking to you. I'd be in the hospital with burns. But let's get these out of here. Let them set overnight. Talk to you tomorrow. Yeah, I've got one jar that didn't seal. I smelled it, I tasted it, it's all good. I got this, the leftover from yesterday. I put it in the fridge overnight. I measured it out, and it's going to be at least 4 pints worth in there. So if I add this to it, bring it all to a boil, put it in hot jars and recan it, it's perfectly safe. You can recan stuff that didn't seal as long as you did it within 24 hours. This was in the fridge overnight, so it's safe. So I'm going to get another 9, maybe even 10 half-pint jars out of this. Oh yeah, and there was only 19 cobs too, not 20. Here, let's get the second batch out of the canner. I put a link to the recipe in the description. From there you'll be able to download or print it. Cream corn is a bit more labor intensive than a lot of other canning recipes due to the fact you got to cut the kernels in half and then scrape off the rest of the kernels in the milk. But other than that, it's not that bad. It's definitely worth the effort. It tastes good. So anyway, I hope you'll like this video and subscribe to my channel. Until next time, goodbye.